Aloha Nityanandam. I'm going to be doing a video on how I make the Surya Sundial sunflower. I use this mini spray bottle for the circumference of this, the cap. I just spin it around. This part requires 2 or 3, depending on the length of your Lauhala strip. Okay. So, all right. So this is what we got. Then we're going to take the second strip. And what we do with that is in the same direction of the of the spinning. Going to place it on top. Make sure that they're about the same width. For the most part they are, but sometimes when I cut the edges off of the main leaf, sometimes it does get a different length. So wait, hold on. I want to do it near the beginning of the first spin right here, and that's what, sorry, that's where it's at. You can see. Right here, right there. So if you can see, that's the beginning of the leaf there. So we want to start it before that, because what we want to do is start the weaving process around that area. All right. So here we are. Okay. So now that we're here, what we do is we take the end of the strip and we thread it through, and then we make sure that this is the same, going in the same direction. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up and through that loop, so it goes through like that, so that we have this. But what we want to do, right, like that, we want to bring it forward and thread it through the hole. Thread it through the hole, and then same thing again, but we want to make sure that this stays in the same direction. Then we thread it again, and we're just going to keep doing like this all the way around. We're going to thread it through, so it goes through like that, but we need to make sure everything is lining up nicely like that. What I like to do is make sure that it's gonna be pointing in this direction. Okay. Then we thread this through again. Like that. Make sure it goes like that. Okay. So as you can see, it's starting to come together. Looks like we're gonna need a second leaf to finish this out. I think so. So another leaf for this. So which is perfect, so I can show you how to add a leaf. So because I started with the thicker side of the leaf first, and then this is the thinner side, just to keep the color similar, I'm going to start the addition with the bottom of the next leaf. So basically what we're gonna do is tuck it in first. Better to tuck it in on the bottom side. So what I'm doing is putting it on the right side of the one that goes through, so that it'll just seamlessly go through. So what I'm doing is I'm tucking it in, here. So that it comes out this way. Not on the right side, the left side, to make sure that it stays together. There. Ooh. What's going on? Yeah, there. Then that way, oh, oops. Gotta be careful. Until it gets secure, it's gonna slide out. So not on the right side, sorry, the left side. The left side, gotta tuck it, make sure it doesn't come out. All right. Bring this side out together, going back down. Just continue on. Thread it through. pushing it so that there's the most number of petals that can happen. So one last time, put it through, create a loop, slide this through the center to bring it through. This goes through the loop like that. All right. So then we bring it, send it to the back. So this is what the front looks like. And the back. What I do is I will turn it. See how there is this gap here? I will turn it and then thread it through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the piece to be about that long. I'm going to cut it at an angle. So that when I thread it through, it has a guide. Well, all right. Just gonna stop messing with it and tuck it in. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is the first part of the Surya Sundial sunflower. Okay, so this is going to be the back part. Now I'm going to go over how to make the center portion of it. What can you do with this? What I'm making. You can make buttons. You can make all kind of things with it. So this next part is okay. So this next part, you're gonna need 4 pieces. Make sure that what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend these 4 pieces in half. So we have these loops here. So with the first loop, we're gonna take the first loop. We're going to put the first loop, the second loop over the first loop. Then we're gonna take the third loop and put it over the second loop like that. Then we're going to take the fourth one and do the same thing, but we're going to put it through like this. But we're going to push the edges or thread the edges through the first loop. So we're creating a box like this. Creating a box like this. So you can see the first loop, the second loop, the third loop went over like this, the fourth loop went over like this, and then thread through there. So this is how we are doing this. So what we're gonna do is with this is how you can check how you're doing it correctly. If it's just going straight across, that's not what we want. So this is not the correct side. What we want to do is when we go in a clockwise position, clockwise direction, we're going to take this and we're going to put it across so that it's at an angle like that. If we did it on the other side, it would just go straight across and you'll make another square. That's not what we're trying to do, because we're going to be making a 8-sided button. And then this last one to go across is going to be thread through the first one, so that we have like an octopus, 8 legs. Tighten that up, close it out. All right, so kind of like the it's a different way to do, well, here we go. So what you do is you take the first one and you take the second one on top. We have to make sure we keep track of these, right? The third one on top and the fourth one on top. Because we have 8, we're going half. So if you have 3, you stop at 3. But because we have 8, if you have 6, you stop at 3. You stop at the halfway point. What are we doing? So we're going to take the first one, allow the first one, make sure you hold it so you don't lose track. You put the first one down, so then every other one, you take this next one, you bring it up and put it on top. Make sure you keep track of the order. This one goes down, and then you take this one and you put it on top. Make sure you pinch it good so you keep track. Put this one down, take this one on top to keep track, right? This one down, this one on top. All right. So then from here, you put this one down. There is this one that is a loop. The first loop, this next one goes through that loop. There's the second loop. This next one goes on top of and through the second loop. This fourth one, or the last one, as you can see, there's one, two. This one does not have one that's sticking out straight. You go through all 3 loops to the other side. So this is what we're doing here. Then you just close up the sides there. Make sure you keep track and be patient. Don't rush through it, or else you're going to end up grabbing ones that you shouldn't, or threading through ones you shouldn't. So make sure you keep track of them so that the fanning of the star is there. Make sure you tighten them out. Be sure to when tightening, that the ones sticking out are at an angle to keep it nicely, because what we're going to do is we are going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so then you grab one, you stack this one on top, keep track, you got to keep track up to the 4th one. Then from here you put one down and you bring one on top, keep track. This next one goes down, bring this one on top, gotta keep track of them. This one goes down, this one goes on top, this one goes down, this one goes on top, this one goes down. Then this next one will go through the first loop. This next one will go on top through the first loop and the second loop. The last one goes on top through the first, second, and third loop, so that we have them all going through. Every other one is a loop and one being thread through. So we go around and we close out the loops. And again, make sure when you're tightening them and closing them through, make sure that the ones sticking out are at an angle. So that it fans out nicely. Okay, so we're going to add this and thread it through. Thread it through the outer portion of the Surya sunflower. It's going to go on top like that. So what I'm doing is threading it through. Okay. Just need 2 of them, and I was measuring which one is the longest ones. The other ones we can cut off. So 3 on each side. So these 2 like that. I'm going to thread it through. Surya sunflower sundial. This can be a button, or you can do the button with just this portion on its own, or you can add this into your leipo'o as well as flowers in your leipo'o. Whatever you want to do with it. This back portion you can weave with it as well. So that's how I make the Surya sunflower sundial. Aloha, blessings. Nityanandam.